Hello, and welcome to the Cryptocurrency News Channel. We got another big update on the Cardano staking Shelley kind of update, and there's some details on the incentive part as well as their further roadmap into Shelley, Goguan, and all those other things. So this one is actually not by Charles. This is by Esser, and he's actually said that Cardano has pretty successful few weeks. The network implementation of Jormungandr, the node that implements the protocol that runs Cardano, has received great feedback from the community, which Esser said was instrumental in Cardano's development. Anyways, the real thing about the staking is it will start in November. We don't really know exactly what day because they haven't told us, at least not in this article. And that is the incentivized testnet. Now, if you have your ADA on hardware wallets, you can transfer the funds to either Daedalus or Yoroi. If you have it on exchanges, I would do the same. Transfer it to Daedalus or Yoroi before the snapshot, which I don't really know what the snapshot is, when the snapshot is, but you want to do it probably by the end of this month at least, or just do it right now actually. So you can transfer it to either Daedalus or Yoroi before the snapshot, and then you can return them to cold storage after the snapshot is completed. So you only have to have them in the Daedalus or Yoroi at the time of the snapshot. You don't have to keep it there afterwards, and that is something that usually, if you're staking somewhere, you generally have to keep it at that place, but not for this testnet. And this will enable all users who want to participate in the testnet to have all the ADA they have in real life mirrored on the testnet. So it's just going to mirror your amount on the testnet. The ADA on the testnet will not be spendable, and because it can't actually exit the testnet, but all the ADA users earn by staking or delegating in the testnet can be pulled back on the mainnet, and it will be pulled back onto the mainnet. So all you have to do is have your ADA in Daedalus or Yoroi before the snapshot, and that's what I'm going to do. I only have a few thousand ADA, so I'm not going to get much, but heck, why not, The rewards earned in the testnet won't transfer to the mainnet automatically, but Cardano developers are already working on a procedure that would allow users to manually import their rewards. So I might get my $4 worth of rewards or whatever, because the percentage is most likely to be 12% for this incentivized testnet. It's only going to be for a couple of months, I'm guessing. So I will get a couple hundred Cardano, which is honestly a couple of dollars, but that's fine. It's like free Cardano, whatever. So I'm not really worried about that. And because it's actual Cardano that you will be able to withdraw later, Esser has said that this is the best way to motivate users to participate in the network. But the testnet isn't going to be solely left to the users, because IOHK, the Cardano Foundation, and Emergo will also be running their own staking pools in Shelley's testnet, and they actually might be making the most out of the testnet, but they're going to just help us kind of decentralize the staking pools, and it won't affect your staking percentage. While Esser said there was no specific plan set in place on how these large entities will delegate their ADA, their intent isn't to compete with other stake pools in the network. So all the staking pools will actually be active. There are also rumors that Binance will add ADA staking platform, and that's actually been circulating in the Cardano community for a while. Although Esser said he couldn't speak for Binance, but he did actually reveal that Cardano was working with other exchanges to offer staking as a service. However, he didn't reveal any more details about this, saying the company was still figuring out exactly when this could roll out, both on testnet and mainnet. Cardano's team explained that the size of the stake pool doesn't matter in Shelley's incentive model, as the incentives themselves are designed to achieve more decentralization. So the testnet has a parameter in place that optimizes the rewards so they don't increase for large stake pools. So in other words, it doesn't matter how large your stake pool is, your rewards will actually be the same. And this is actually pretty good, because this actually prevents people from joining larger and larger stake pools. So there's not only 2 or 3 stake pools that really matter. There's going to be a lot of stake pools, and that keeps the decentralization. This, he says, creates motivation for smaller, unsaturated stake pools to participate in the network. While the testnet can support around 1,000 stake pools, the team set the more realistic numbers between 2 and 300. And between 2 and 300 stake pools, if the amount of ADA is actually divided pretty evenly between 2 and 300 stake pools, that is pretty well incentivized, especially just for a testnet. The staking incentives the pool will get will not depend on the number of ADA it has, and the percentage returns will be the same for everyone. There's not an exact percentage yet, but it will be close to 12%. and that will allow Cardano to compete with other blockchains that offer staking. I'm not really sure if that's going to be what it is for the mainnet. I don't see how they can offer 12% forever, but even at 12%, they could actually keep the staking rewards on for many years as they distribute more Cardano. However, there will be no place for confusion as Cardano plans on introducing a projected performance calculator. What this means is that all users will be able to choose stake pools based on how well they're expected to perform. Now, the tax guideline for this stuff, I'm not really sure. They just did a tax guideline for hard forks. I'm not really sure if they did one for staking yet. I really think their hard fork guideline is kind of off. I really think the IRS should really tax the. I really think our IRS should tax staking rewards and hard fork rewards when you actually sell them, because that's when you actually get the money to pay taxes, not when you actually get them. Because if you want to do that, you should allow us to pay the taxes in the cryptocurrency as well, which we can't actually do that. So taxes for both staking and forks are going to be hard to manage, especially as it is often the case, the value of the coins after the fork goes down. So users will also be able to delegate their ADA to more than one staking pool. D. Prima explained that this could be beneficial to people who hold large amounts of ADA, as they would be able to spread their funds to maximize their potential for profit. So like delegating to different staking pools actually does get you maximum profit. And that's also to incentivize people to actually decentralize their staking instead of just stick it in one pool for really large holders. When the Shelley testnet finishes, users will be able to stake from their cold wallets. However, it won't be possible during the testnet. The team also confirmed that Phase 3 of the incentivized testnet will roll out next month, and that's when the staking will start, as IOHK founder Charles Hoskinson promised, and that a special version of crypto wallet Daedalus will be released for the testnet. So get your Cardano and Daedalus and your ROI if you really want to stake. I might actually just sell it before this comes out, because I'm sure though there might be like a price run up to this, and if it's enough, I'd just rather sell it and keep the profit rather than just try to stake. Because my goal with Cardano anyways is to look for a price hike at this point and then basically cash in on that price hike. So despite the progress made by Cardano's team, the community is still unsure whether the project will be able to meet deadlines set in the roadmap. That's not surprising because Cardano's missed a lot of deadlines. So that's fair for the community. When asked about whether it would be possible to complete Shelley's 2 remaining phases within 2020, because at the end of 2020 is when IOHK's contract is actually up with Cardano, we don't really have any idea whether they're going to stay or not. Esser seemed confident that no deadlines will be missed. So obviously he's on the team, he is confident, but I'm a little less confident because of previous failures to meet deadlines. Hopefully, I really do hope that they're able to complete Shelley's remaining phases in 2020, and they do meet the deadlines in the roadmap, because that like one project doing well bodes well for the entire industry, and I don't want like a top 10, top 15 project to not perform as predicted. He told viewers that developments of Goguan, which is their smart contract, has been happening in parallel to Shelley for the last couple of years. As the development has been going really well, the implementation of Goguan to Shelley would require little more than adding 100 lines of code. So he's making a Goguan implementation seem very, very easy, and I hope that's the case, because Shelley and Goguan were supposed to roll out in both at least by the end of Q1 2020. I mean, originally Charles said Shelley and Goguan would be here by 2018, but obviously that didn't happen. But if they can deploy Shelley and Goguan by the time that IOHK's contract is up, I'm willing to let like all those other missed deadlines for the last 3 years actually just pass and say they actually have a platform. Now, Basho and Voltaire still have to be done, but I don't expect Voltaire to come around until like 2023. That is a lot of work for the governance of the project. So Esser actually thinks that they can get the remaining 2 phases within 2020, and he's actually confident that no deadlines will be missed. And since he's actually stated that, I am betting that is true, and if they start missing deadlines, I'm really going to be raising an eyebrow, because IOHK's contract is going to be up at the end of 2020. So the easy process for Goguan to be added was enabled by, among other things, the efforts of the Cardano team. Some users questioned the efficiency of having 2 separate teams working on Rust and Haskell programming languages, saying they were the same thing. However, team members adamantly defended this method, saying the complementary nature of the 2 languages provided learning opportunities. I think, like, for an investor perspective, I don't really think they care about learning activities. I think they just want to get the platform out and actually working. And it seems that Cardano is taking those learning opportunities quite seriously. It's like Cardano's always been more like education and academic focused than any of the other projects. And that's good to a certain extent, but it also does lead to delays in other things. It's like good career learning for the people that are working on the project, but for investors, that might annoy the hell out of you sooner or later, because that does tend to delay things. Cardano's education team leader Alejandro Garcia said they were currently developing a repository for support questions on Zendesk. This, Garcia explained, will reduce the burden of the support team and allow users to see how their similar issues resolve. There are currently around 20 articles on how issues with Cardano mainnet and testnet were resolved available on Zendesk. Garcia's team is also working on a detailed guide about bug fixes on the Cardano testnet for Windows 10. What all of them seem to agree on is that many of those bug fixes couldn't have happened without the support of the Cardano community. Esser said that the amount of feedback Cardano has received from the community has been impressive, while D. Prima recounted how the community was responsible for finding and fixing the issues that the team wouldn't have been able to solve. When it comes to the future of Cardano, Esser kept in line with the company's slow and steady methodology. Substantial marketing efforts will only begin after Shelley is released in Q1 2020. Shelley will kind of market itself. If they actually hit those deadlines on time, Shelley will market itself because A, the community is adamant about it, and B, there's been so much hype built up for Shelley and Gongguan that it's almost impossible that it doesn't market itself. As soon as Shelley and Gongguan actually come online, yes, they will have to advertise to get some of the enterprises online, but to get users to build dApps on the network, I'm pretty sure like there'll be some self-promotion, and a lot of users will be just interested to see like how another mainnet actually functions. Now, this is depending that they actually get all the stuff out on time, which I'm hoping they will. And if they do get it out on time, I do see good things for Cardano ahead. But that's just the update for the incentivized testnet. The percentage is going to be around 12%. It's going to start in November. You have to have your Cardano coins in either Daedalus or Yoroi by the time of the snapshot. I would just go ahead and do it right now. And once the snapshot actually happens, you can actually move your Cardano back into cold storage. You will not be able to spend your ADA on the testnet, but you will be able to port your ADAs that you earn on the testnet back to the mainnet once the testing phase is done. And they are very optimistic on future phases of Shelley and Gongguan. So that is the update for today. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you and have a nice day.